Hey guys, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here, and today in this video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new CCM Ribcor 80k skates, and we're going to be VSing them against the previous generation, the 70ks. Now when manufacturers release new skates or new sticks, we like to create these VS videos to show you exactly what's been changed, so you can make the decision if you want to go for the previous generation or the brand new release a little bit easier. So let's get into it and show you exactly what's been changed. And of course, if you're new here or you watch our videos regularly but you're not subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button, and also don't forget to thumbs up so you can stay up to date with all of the videos that we post. So from there, as always, we're going to start at the base of the skates and then work our way upwards. Now, when we look at the brand new 80k skates, we're looking at a brand new runner and a brand new holder to kick things off. Now, this steel over here is the XS1 Black. Aside from having that cool color, it also has a few performance benefits. That black color is able to help fight rust and corrosion a lot better than blades that don't feature this black coating. And aside from that, it also helps to maintain edge life a little bit longer than your traditional steel that doesn't have this black coating applied to it. So it's not just a color, it does have some performance benefits there, which is always good to see. Now, when we compare that to the previous generation, the SB Black, both of them still do have the same coatings, but in terms of any changes to the blade, the brand new XS1 Black is 2mm higher than the previous generation with the 70k skates. Now, what that does is it allows us to be able to corner more aggressively, tighter, without having to worry about bottoming out. Essentially, it just makes us a little bit more maneuverable on the ice, which is always great. Now, when we move up, we see one of the big improvements to the new generation of skates, and that's the XS holder. Now, this holder features a dial that allows you to remove the blade without any tools whatsoever. It only takes a couple of seconds for you to switch out your steel. Now, what this means is that, of course, if you break a blade or you lose an edge, you're able to just replace a steel on the bench very quickly. Now, this is definitely a feature that, regardless of what level you play, is something that's going to go a long way with any player. Aside from that, if you live quite far from your closest hockey shop and sharpening your skate blades is always an issue, this allows you to pick up multiple blades, and it means that when you break a blade or when a blade gets dull, you can literally just switch them out and keep going. So that's a really great feature to have, especially if you live far away from a shop, just like I do. Aside from being, of course, able to switch out your steels now without any tools, this is also a mechanism instead of it being a trigger-based system. Now, what that means is that it locks the blade in there much more securely than a trigger-based system would. And the advantage of doing this is the better the blade is attached to the holder, the better your energy transfer through the entire skate. You're not going to get your blade clicking or loosening over time with this type of system, and it's why it is a massive improvement from what we saw previously, which was 2 bolts on either side of the holder. Now, although this did work, it wasn't ideal. It didn't allow us to switch out our steel very quickly if we needed to, so this new XS holder is a massive improvement from the previous generation. So from there, we're going to be taking a look at the outsole of these skates, which is a fully composite outsole. Both the 70k and the 80k skates feature a fully composite outsole with a perforation or a hole at the base to allow any excess heat and moisture to exit the skate. Now, I know some players may have been expecting to see the removing of the outsole and a one-piece boot frame introduced into the Ribcor line of skates, just like we see with the AS1 and with the FT2. Now, if you look at the construction of the Ribcor skates, it's a flexible construction. And the 70k has been very popular specifically because of that flexible construction that it has. A lot of players really benefited from the way that this skate performs and feels over the FT2 and also the AS1. And it's why, to this day, it's still an incredibly popular skate to see in the NHL and also pretty much at any ice rink that you go to. And at this particular moment in time, this is a winning recipe. It works very well and players do really enjoy it. And as the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, why fix it? From there, as we move into the quarter package of both of these skates, if you look at the 70k skates over here, you'll notice that they featured a lot of what we call non-performance components. Now, this is essentially anything on the skate typically referred to as facing materials, like the synthetic leathers around the eyelet section. And if we look at the brand new 80k skates, you'll see the absence of all of these non-performance components. Those are essentially pieces of material that are on the skate that do not benefit the skate's performance in any way, shape, or form. All of that has been stripped down and removed. So again, it's a term that I like to use a lot with these skates. The 80Ks are a leaner version of the 70Ks. Anything that is on the skate is there because it benefits the performance or the durability of the skate, so it's always great to see that. Now, if you're wondering about the technology packed into the quarter package of these skates, it features CCM's Flex Frame. Now, this is that unique construction with maximum forward flexion and lateral support. So in other words, this skate is going to be allowing the player to get a full range of motion while they're striding or flexing the skate forward, while still maintaining lateral support. So what I mean by this is that the body of the skate is only going to be flexing in the directions that are going to help to aid your performance on the ice, while still being able to offer you support and stiffness in the areas that it needs to. So the flex frame is essentially going to be increasing your range of motion while helping you to achieve an optimal skating stride. So essentially, by removing all of those overlays and facing materials, which are the non-performance components that aren't required on the skate, and only featuring what the skate needs, you're able to reduce the overall weight of the skate because those materials that aren't benefiting the skate's performance are gone. And aside from that, you're also increasing the durability of the skate. Another subtle but important upgrade is going to be the vamping material along the side of the skate over here. Now this is that part of the skate that helps to keep the body of the boot off of the surface of the ice while you're cornering sharply and playing hockey. If we look at the new 80k skates, CCM have definitely beefed up the vamping material over here, again to aid the durability of this skate. Now before we look at the tendon and also the inside of the skates, we're going to take a quick look at the neck, which is this area of the skate over here. Now if you look at the comfort pads around the neck of the skate on the 70Ks, of course it did feature them, but they were quite small. Now if you look over at the 80K skates over here, what they've done is increase the length of the comfort pads. So again, just making sure that you're a little bit more comfortable while you're skating aggressively, turning tightly in these skates, so you don't have to worry about any pain or pressure on the top of your foot. Another subtle difference that they've made, aside from increasing the length of this comfort pad, is making it much softer. The comfort pad on the 70Ks was quite stiff and firm, although it was soft. But when we look at the 80Ks over here, it's much, much softer, much larger. Essentially, these are just going to be much more comfortable skates to be able to play hockey in. Taking a quick look at both of these tendons, both the 70K and 80K skates feature injected tendons. Now this is a construction method that's used for durability, not for performance. No major changes in this particular area of the skate. Now when we take a quick look at both of these tongues, one of the major changes you'll notice is in the color. The 80K skates feature a black tongue, the 70K skates feature the white. They're both felt, they're both 7mm in thickness, but something that I noticed when I first got these skates is feeling the tongues, they did feel to be different. They felt to be perhaps constructed slightly differently, but after having spoken to CCM, they did confirm with their engineers that these tongues have been constructed in the same way. Of course, aside from the 80Ks looking much more stealth, they still feature the metatarsal guard to prevent lace bite, but still not impeding on your ability to forward flex in the skate, helping you to gain that optimal skating stride. So players can expect a very familiar feel with the tongue of the 80Ks. Now from there, we're going to be looking at the liners of both of these skates. Now with the 80Ks, we're going to be seeing some big improvements to the liners. But when we look at the previous generation 70Ks, if you remember the video I shot about a year ago, where we looked at the 50Ks versus the 70Ks, in that video we said these liners were essentially two materials. We had a Clarino and also a microfiber liner in here. The darker areas of the liner were a little bit more abrasive. The idea was to help these liners to last longer in the areas that saw a lot of wear and tear. Now with the 70Ks, this was CCM's total dry liner. Now when we move over onto the 80Ks, now aside from them, again, really continuing that stealth black look that I'm a big fan of, I keep saying, inside these liners, the first thing you're going to notice is that it's CCM's Total Dry Pro Plus liner. Now where that is different from the Total Dry is that this features abrasion pads inside the liner to help manage the general wear and tear that these skates will get as you're on the ice skating hard. Now with these abrasion pads, not only do they extend to all of the high wear areas like around the eyelet section of the skates, but they also extend to the rear of the skate towards the tendon. Now this just means that these liners again are going to last much longer than the previous ones that we saw from the 70Ks. In addition to of course having enhanced durability, they're also going to last much lighter and they're much softer to the touch. So again, it's just going to be much more comfortable than what we saw previously. This is exactly what players have come to expect from the Ribcor line of skates, and CCM have definitely not disappointed with the upgrades that they've given these liners. We're also seeing an upgrade in the foams that they're using in the 80Ks compared to the 70Ks, which is CCM's new ADPT memory foams. So as we've come to expect in the Ribcor line of skates, when they eliminated the pump, moving from the 50K to the 70K skates, the foams inside here were insanely cushioned and insanely soft. And when we move over onto the 80Ks, they've definitely not disappointed here. These new memory foams, aside from offering amazing contouring around your foot and your ankle inside the skates, really locking your foot in there, really being comfortable. They're also incredibly soft and adaptive. These foams, although they've managed to trim them down and make them lighter and more durable, big upgrades in the foams. As always, thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. If you've got any questions about either of these two skates, please leave your comments down below and I will try to get to them as quickly as I can. Or if you have any suggestions on any other products you might want us to VS against each other, also leave those down below in the comments section and we'll see if we can make that possible. Before you go, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of the videos that we post, and also use the description down below to see some of the other VS videos that we've created in the past on skates and also on sticks. Big thank you for watching. Make sure that you've liked and subscribed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.